Access granted.
Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe.
First of all, I have got a Behance account where I post a lot of my graphic designing works, and the link is provided in the description box, and please make sure to follow me on Behance to see my works, especially if you're a graphic designer. Gotta be very helpful for you. It'd be highly appreciated. Exactly 100 years ago, in February of 1922, when 95% of this world wasn't even born. Yeah, in 1922, the silent film Nosferatu was released in February, and I'm pretty sure that all of us, or most of us, have heard about Nosferatu from this SpongeBob episode. Yeah, when it appears in the end segments, as you can see, messing up with the lights. But YouTubers like us, we pick on these small scenes and create big videos.
This actually scared the fuck out of me the first time when I viewed this. Oh man.
As a kid, this episode in fact was actually scarier than any of movies today. There's a reason why SpongeBob is such an immortal series. Because first of all, it doesn't really use brute force and emotions, whether it is to make us laugh or to make it scary. Just a little bit of expression, like no extreme violence, and still satisfies the audience. And now about Nosferatu. As it's the film's 100th anniversary this year, there's an unseen theory about Nosferatu's history. First of all, let's learn about Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker was the man who wrote the novel called Dracula, on which this film was actually developed. The Nosferatu film was nearly lost forever at that time because of some lawsuit, but luckily it didn't. It managed to survive in the end, and that's why we can still see it on YouTube. And what happened actually is the content of this video. Anyways, Nosferatu was frequently compared with the 1931 Dracula, and it's kind of similar to it. It's kind of based on Dracula as the most infamous vampire of all time. It starred Max Schreck as this man as Count Orlok, the name of the vampire in this Nosferatu movie. Orlok is searching for a new home and falls for his real estate agent's spouse. Initially, Nosferatu was designed to be an unlicensed German adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel, but later changed the names, locations, characters, and circumstances to avoid some copywriting issues. But still, 100 years prior to today, copyright was still an issue. Yeah, and this film got caught up in this copyright scandal, which nearly cost its release, and its copies also. Nosferatu's producer, Albin Grau, asked Bram Stoker's widow, Florence, if he could purchase the rights to Dracula, but she refused it, and ultimately it actually turned into a court case, where Florence sued Grau and won the case. Because there was a law that time that under the German copyright law, this book wouldn't become public domain until the 1960s. So Grau knowingly was breaking the law, but he still didn't budge because he wanted to create a film. He didn't have no for an answer, and that's why he had it all coming. In the end though, luckily and miraculously, even I can't believe it, the judge's order to destroy all of Nosferatu's copies was ignored by some, and there was one single print which actually survived. That was the shining light in the period of darkness. And this print found its way to the United States of America in 1929. There, the law surprisingly said that Dracula was already a public domain. And so yet again, Nosferatu's copies began rising. And it was not until 33 years later, in 1962, that Dracula became universally domain. And so Nosferatu's 4 decades of fighting was finally officially over. It was safe, and no further copies were gonna be destroyed. And that's how it survived its lawsuit. Yeah, it's a pretty long story. Yeah, in this YouTube video it might seem a pretty short story, but in reality it was like, it was a situation of over 4 decades. Just imagine that, 4 decades. And imagine if this SpongeBob episode wasn't released ever. and Nosferatu was destroyed that time. We would have lost a treasure of a horror film. Credit where it's due, whether it's based from an episode or it's in reality. Nosferatu had, let's see the ratings of the film. Nosferatu had also got an amazing rate of 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is actually pretty good, and around 8 out of 10 in IMDb, which according to today's, if we see in today's generation, it's kind of 9.5, yeah. Nosferatu also had a remake in 1979 and pretty much a lot of other films which were based on Dracula, which was actually surprisingly equally rated well by the audience. It's surprising because the remakes and sequels don't usually get the same rating level as the original one. All know that it got a 7.4 out of 10, which is actually pretty good. IMDb 95% Rotten Tomatoes, amazing, and almost 80% on Metacritic. So basically all of that is above 70%. There are many films based on Dracula and Nosferatu. And regarding this, even a while back, Robert X and Anya Taylor are still planning a remake. I don't know whether it's actually done or it's still in progress. I don't know. I still gotta search that news, but it's surely gonna be a treat to watch for today's generation who haven't watched the old Nosferatu for sure. That's all the topic. That's it for this film. That's how it managed to survive. And if you like this video, then please do like and comment and subscribe. Please don't forget that. So I'll see you guys the next time. So take care of yourselves, guys, until now.